Ashley Anderson, followed by Rue Rodriguez. Ashley?
Hello, my name's Ashley Anderson, and I'm here with Detroit Community Action Committee, and we are pleading with City Council to make Detroit a sanctuary city. Now, I do want to start with letting you know that I am not a resident of Detroit. I am a born and raised Metro Detroiter, and Detroit is my home, even though I do not live in the borders. And I care about this city, and that's why I'm here on my day off of work fighting for a city for regulations that honestly won't even affect me. But you've said from the beginning that making Detroit a sanctuary city would put a target on our back. Well, if you look around, there already is. ICE is active in Detroit and Metro Detroit. They're judging people based on skin color and perceived immigration status, ripping parents from kids and disappearing them into a system designed to make it hard to locate. Detroit has the chance to set a precedent. Let's prove to the world that Detroit fights back. By ending collaboration between Detroit police and ICE, not only can you prove to Detroit and Michigan as a whole that we will stand up, but you can open resources for Detroiters instead of this lawless militia. All over the country, people are terrified to leave their houses. They're being taken at courthouses, jobs, schools, churches, traffic stops, and every place in between. Making a few of these locations does not help when people are unable to get to those locations for sanctuary. Now, in the agenda, I saw 3 different events looking for approval. It looks like the African World Festival, Backwoods and Bonfires, and the Easter Fun Fest are all looking for approval for their events. Well, you can approve those events, but what happens when nobody can show up because they are terrified to leave their houses because you are not giving them the protections they deserve? People should be able to go to these events and know that they are not going to be tackled or pepper sprayed or kidnapped and never see their family again. Now, do we have to be at the point that Minneapolis is with ICE blatantly?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Rue Rodriguez, followed by Cassandra Rodriguez.
Hello. My name is Rue Rodriguez. I'm a Detroit District 6 resident and a member of Detroit Comité de Acción Comunitaria, and I am here to urge the City Council to pass a sanctuary city ordinance written by DCAC. As we've seen ICE escalate their violence in the past month with the murders of Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and Keith Porter Jr., more and more people are concerned about ICE presence in our city. We've seen multiple Detroit residents be detained and deported, including 3 high school students within the last year. And our tax dollars and city resources have been used to aid those processes. Meanwhile, Detroiters who have lived here their whole lives are struggling, whether it be with unsafe living conditions, grocery shopping, or delayed legal processes. Our tax dollars should be used to improve our communities to ensure that our residents are housed, fed, and cared for, not to aid federal agents who come into our neighborhoods to tear families apart. And while I realize there was a memo put forward by Gabriela Santiago Romero to prohibit ICE presence from working at public spaces like churches, schools, and city spaces, this would still leave immigrants at risk most of the time, as many of them are being detained at work, traffic stops, or in their own homes. We need to put real protections in place for immigrants by prohibiting DPD ICE collaboration and city information sharing with ICE, and we need to use our resources to improve communities for all of our residents. Sanctuary City now. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Cassandra Rodriguez, followed by Daniel Weber Alatorre.
Hi, yes, my name is Cassandra. I'm with Detroit Community Action Committee. I'm also here to advocate for a sanctuary city status for Detroit. I think a lot of us, when we hear this, we're debating the label, but people are getting deported. While we're here having a conversation about what we should call ourselves as a city, people are actively getting deported. As Ruth said, there was 3 high schoolers last year, and those weren't the only people last year. People continue to get deported, Black people. Detroit is a majority Black city. This community is no stranger to over-policing and surveillance, and ICE just adds an extra layer to that type of violence that's in our neighborhoods. Just yesterday and this morning, we're getting reports about someone in Atlanta, a woman, a doctor, that was killed in a ICE chase where ICE pulled over someone, and that person, fleeing for their lives, scared, terrified, caused a car accident. This is the type of stuff that we're seeing in other cities and isn't necessarily happening here, but people are still being targeted here. So we have an opportunity before stuff escalates to a real scary level to actually create some protections for the people that we're supposed to represent. I think when we have a conversation about sanctuary cities, a lot of people think it's only immigrants, but it's honestly for everybody, these protections. This allows for us to put our resources into things that we actually need, like rec centers, education centers for our students, safety measures for our residents, housing, transportation. These are all areas that Detroit needs extra help in. And there's no reason for us to be doing federal immigration enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Daniel Weber Alatari, followed by Ivory Burks.
Detroit City Council. My name is Daniel. I'm a Detroit resident and EMT in the city, and I come here today to fight for DCAC's Sanctuary City campaign. Across the country, we are seeing a brutal onslaught of our communities by ICE. We're seeing these monsters tear apart our communities while city governments do nothing about it. This includes Detroit. We've seen families destroyed and lives taken, and so I ask why no action has been taken. It is common sentiment that our resources are not being put towards the people of Detroit. Our bus stops are worn down. Our homes have crumbling infrastructure. So I ask why our city services are going to aiding ICE's terrorism. Why are our resources, our tax dollars, going to collaboration with ICE? Why is our DPD supporting ICE's onslaught? Why are our most vulnerable community members being sold out to ICE? Trump and his administration have been fighting to stop the Gordie Howe Bridge. This is just the most recent example of how he's trying to shut down the welcoming city Detroit is. This is a blatant attack on some of the most important values this city stands for. And as city council, you have a responsibility to protect your city, and I find your apathy absolutely despicable. Detroit deserves a city council that fights for real change, not complacency. We're at a point in history where these issues have never been more clear, and your attempts to portray this as a complex situation only further clarifies your failure to the people of Detroit.
All right. Next speaker, Ivory Burks, followed by Charles Cunningham.
Hello, my name is Ivory Burks. I'm here to speak up against ICE.
Speaking a little closer to the mic so we can hear you.
I'm here to speak up against ICE being in Detroit. No one in here should have to live in fear of ICE breaking down their doors or taking their loved ones. I have younger siblings that I fear every day. Just because of how they look, they could easily be snatched away from me. I myself get calls from my mom asking me if I'm going to be okay driving down the street. I may not live in Detroit as I live in Harper Woods, but I work here, I visit my friends here, and practically here every single day of my life. No one should have to fear ICE breaking down their doors. No one should have to fear ICE killing them. I shouldn't even be here. ICE shouldn't even be in the state. But I'm speaking about Detroit and how Detroit can make that a change. DPD should have no involvement with ICE. Why do they? I have no clue. But ICE is an ununiformed mercenary group at this point. They kill and with no repercussion. And yet DPD, a system designed to help Detroit citizens, is assisting this? I'm here pleading, I'm here stating ICE should not be in the city. And that's all.